The Middle English period, 1066 to 1500. The Middle English period bridges the Old English and Renaissance periods, marking a time of linguistic evolution, cultural change, and literary development. This era spans from the Norman Conquest in 1066 to the end of the 15th century, reflecting the blending of Anglo-Saxon traditions with Norman French influences. Middle English literature is notable for its diversity, ranging from religious and allegorical works to chivalric romances and early prose. Historical context. The Norman Conquest brought profound changes to English society, introducing feudalism and reshaping cultural and political structures. French became the language of the aristocracy, while Latin remained dominant in religion and scholarship. English persisted among the common people and gradually evolved into Middle English, incorporating French and Latin vocabulary. By the end of this period, English reasserted itself as the primary literary language. Key events, such as the Black Death, 1347 to 1351, and the Peasants' Revolt, 1381, profoundly affected societal attitudes, with literature reflecting themes of morality, social upheaval, and spiritual reflection. The invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg, circa 1440, and its introduction to England by William Caxton, 1476, made literature more widely available, helping to standardize the English language and promote literacy. Key characteristics of Middle English literature. 1. Linguistic transformation. Middle English emerged as a more accessible language, blending Old English roots with French and Latin vocabulary. 2. Religious influence. Christianity remained central, with a focus on moral and spiritual lessons, often conveyed through allegory and devotional works. 3. Rise of chivalric romance. Tales of courtly love, heroism, and knighthood became popular, often centered on the legends of King Arthur. 4. Realism and social commentary. As society changed, literature began to address real-life issues, such as class disparity and human morality. 5. Development of drama. Miracle, mystery, and morality plays were performed to convey biblical and moral themes to the largely illiterate populace. 6th. Allegorical and symbolic style. Writers often used complex allegories to explore abstract ideas and spiritual truths. Subperiods of Middle English literature. 1. Anglo-Norman literature, 11th to 13th century. This phase reflects the influence of Norman French culture, as French became the dominant literary language of the ruling class. Themes, chivalric ideals, courtly love, and religious devotion were prominent. Genres, chivalric romances, hagiographies, saints' lives, and moral allegories were common. Legacy. Although Middle English was not yet fully established, this period laid the groundwork for its emergence. Notable works and writers, the Song of Roland in French, influenced later English works. Wace's Roman de Brute introduced Arthurian legends. Religious texts, such as The Voyage of St. Brendan, circulated widely. 2. Late Middle English literature, 14th to 15th century. This subperiod saw the flourishing of Middle English as a literary language, producing iconic works that remain influential today. It reflects the themes of human experience, morality, and spirituality, alongside growing interest in everyday life. Historical context. The Black Death and social unrest shaped literature, with writers often addressing themes of mortality and moral questions. The rise of literacy and the availability of texts through printing encouraged wider readership. Themes. Focus on spiritual reflection, social critique, and human morality. Celebration of courtly love, heroism, and the chivalric code. introduction of satire and humor to critique societal flaws. Notable works and writers. 1. Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales, a groundbreaking collection of stories told by pilgrims, showcasing the diversity of medieval society and blending humor, realism, and social commentary. 2. William Langland's Piers Plowman, an allegorical poem exploring spiritual truths, societal issues, and the quest for salvation. 3. Sir Thomas Malory's Le Morte d'Arthur, a compilation of Arthurian legends blending romance, heroism, and moral ideals. 4. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, Anonymous, a chivalric romance exploring themes of honor, temptation, and human fallibility. Notable writers. 1. Geoffrey Chaucer, known as the father of English literature. Chaucer's works, particularly the Canterbury Tales, elevated Middle English as a literary language and explored themes of human nature, morality, and humor. 2. William Langland, an allegorical poet whose Piers Plowman critiqued social and religious issues. 3. Julian of Norwich, a mystic writer whose revelations of divine love is one of the earliest works in English by a female author. 4th. Anonymous authors. Many influential works, such as Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, reflect the oral and collaborative traditions of the time. Forms of Middle English Literature. 1. Allegories and religious works, exploring themes of virtue, sin, and salvation, e.g. Piers Plowman. 2. Chivalric romances, celebrating courtly love, knighthood, and moral lessons, e.g. Le Morte d'Arthur. 3rd drama, miracle, mystery, and morality plays were performed in public spaces to educate and entertain the masses. 4. Satire and realism. Writers like Chaucer introduced satire to comment on societal flaws, using humor and wit. Significance of the Middle English period. The Middle English period represents a time of linguistic evolution and cultural synthesis. It reflects the complexities of medieval society, addressing themes of faith, morality, and social change, while celebrating the ideals of chivalry and courtly love. The development of Middle English as a literary language enabled writers like Chaucer to create works that resonate with modern audiences. This period bridged the oral traditions of the Old English period and the humanistic ideals of the Renaissance, making it a cornerstone in the history of English literature. Its works continue to inspire and educate, offering a vivid window into the medieval world.